Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this game development series where you can watch me developing my game Oh My Zombie, the zombie game where you are the zombie. So, welcome, enjoy. We got lots of things to do as always, and let's see what we got. Here in my Trello, I do all my planning and stuff. And let me see if we got this all accomplished already, and now it's the virus attack. So what I have in mind is some kind of virus thing moving to the enemy and getting him sick and destroying him really fast, not over time. Alright, what I want to do. Oh well, I have an idea. I want to put in here for the future versions. Extend virus attack. In order to infect and mutate the enemy. Enemy can be kind of possessed by the player. Okay, that's some idea I have in mind. Alright. For the virus attack, I want to have the get closest enemy function on the enemy radar. Well, the problem that I have right here, right now, is we actually got two problems. We got this problem: the player is moving up. And that's because of the new collider I added. That's the collider enemy radar. And I set it to trigger. But it is the player's moving upwards. It's by effector. No, I don't want to have it used by the effector. What I'm curious about right now is why is the player moving upwards? Is it because he has a kinematic rigid body? Because when I disable this collider, he's not moving upwards. If I enable it, you can see it right here. He's trying to push himself out of the collider zone. And that's nothing I want to have. He's pushing upwards, and I guess he will stand still about here. Let's see. Yep. So it's acting kind of like a new player collider, which is not what I want. Alright, if I disable it, he drops down. Well, I was expecting when I set this to is trigger that I don't have any of these problems, but guess I was wrong. Let me see, what do I have on the player itself? I got this capsule collider, and it is not a trigger. Huh. What happens if I put this one to is trigger? The player should fall down, in my opinion, but it is okay. Alright, I guess that's because rigid body type is kinematic. Yes, that's exactly why. It is kinematic, and because of that, it doesn't care. Alright, how can I come up with a solution for that? I guess it will make no difference if I add a box collider or something like that. Let me see. Size to 3, no, more, 10 by 10, 10 by 10, and we say is trigger. What is happening? Guess what? It's floating upwards into the air, which is not good. Well, this kind of thing is not working. So I have to rethink this. Or do some research. Let's see. Unity. Kinematic. Not collision, but rigid body. Use collider as trigger. Whoa. Trigger. Let me see. Having kinematic rigid body detect collision with a collider. Okay, here we got something. Static colliders. Triggers. One collision enter, yeah, I know that. Collider interactions. Kinematic rigid body collider. Even when immobile kinematic rigid body colliders have different behaviors to static colliders. For example, if the collider is set as a trigger, then you also need to add a rigid body to it in order to receive trigger events in your script. If you don't want the trigger to fall under gravity or otherwise be affected by physics, then you can set the iskinematic property on its rigid body. A rigid body component can be switched between normal and kinematic behavior. A common example is the ragdoll effect, where the character normally moves on the animation but is thrown physically by an explosion or heavy collision. This kinematic is switched off and they are well, maybe, but I don't know exactly. Maybe I need another rigid body here. Whoa. Rigid body 2D. So if I say dynamic, what will happen now? Holy shit. Wow, I didn't expect that to happen. Set it to kinematic. Is it then affecting anything? Okay, it seems like it needs a separate rigid body. And I set it to kinematic. If I put off the simulate, yeah. If I put off the simulated property, what's happening then? I'm not sure. Leave it on kinematic. Blah blah blah. Box collider, disable this one and enable the circle collider, and let's see. Alright, we don't have this weird intersect behavior now. So everything seems to be normal. Now we have our circle collider, which we can use for the collision detection. Vis-a-vis the enemy radar. Alright. I remove the box collider and leave it like that. Okay. Save, and also on the player itself we apply all of the overrides to that prefab. Okay, so next thing is when I try to roll the attack, I get a reference exception because the enemy instance I'm trying to get is not there. I'm getting it anyways. Okay, let me see why this is. Virus attack, enemy radar, closest enemy. Huh. Is it because it's not getting the enemy radar? Let me check something. Debug.log, and I want to see the enemy radar, closest enemy. Let me see if I get a debug on that. If it passes the information about the enemy transform. No, it doesn't. Which means let me see. It means that is it still line 63? Yes, it is. Okay, it means that he can't handle this when the enemy radar closest enemy is empty. And I set it up that way. If there is no collision, closest enemy is null. Which I can't do it that way. How can I do it in the best way? Can I ask about if there's any collision to the trigger? Well, I could work with a boolean. Public bool enemy contact. And I could say this. I could say enemy contact is false at the beginning, and then on trigger stay. We have enemy contact equals true. And here on trigger exit we have enemy contact equals false. Alright. Then I can get back to the player attack script and I can say virus attack, and I don't pass this in here. I just say virus attack and I change the function. Where's my virus attack? Spit attack, virus attack, there we are. And we're not passing this argument in here. So if enemy radar dot enemy contact is true, then we debug the log the virus attack, and we also debug.log enemy closest enemy transform, and then plus enemy radar closest enemy. Yep. All right. I can't talk today. I'm sorry. Let's test. That's what I wanted to say. Okay, here we go. Well, what the hell? Okay, we're getting a reference exception again. No, okay, I need to fix this. Why is that happening? If enemy radar dot enemy contact. He's not getting the enemy radar component. That's why. Oh well. Get child 4. Each component. Seems like this is not working. What else? What else? What kind of options do we have here? It is the get component. Maybe I have to say transform dot maybe game object dot get component and then enemy radar. Maybe it's working like that. Game object dot get component. Let me see. No, damn it. Oh. What is happening? Well, it's not getting the fucking... It's not getting the reference. If I set it to transform, get component enemy radar. Man. Nope. Let's ask Google. Unity. Get component script. How to get a script component from a game object. That sounds like something. Game object dot get component. But that's meant to... 3 months of complimentary access to Unity Learn Premiums. Wow. Not bad. I have to check this out later. Oh, it's a video. Let me see what do they have here. Other game object, get component. Whoa, game object, get component. I thought this would work, but it doesn't. Oh. from another game object. Let's see. How can I reference the command? Yeah, fine with tags. Well, you might ask why I want to set the reference like this. Because I don't like all these referencing things here in the editor where you have to drag and drop objects through the editor, and sometimes it is not passed over to other scenes. Even if you store this referencing in some game prefab, it also sometimes gets lost when you have multiple scenes, so I'm not a big fan of it. And I like to reference the stuff in the scripts like here. But actually I have some kind of problem here. We get this game object .transform.getChild, which is working well here for the spawn point and also for the particle system. But then addressing this exact game object, I want to have the enemy radar script of that component. And I don't know why this is not working, because normally it's when it's on the same object, then you can say game object.getComponent, then the script name. I don't know why this is not working. This is annoying. And here my game assets script, I'm using the find object of type, which is not so performant. Well, maybe I have to remove this. But I also had it up there and it was not working. Damn. Well, I will do some research on this later, but for now I will set it to a serialized field and just do the reference in the editor, which I don't like, but I will do it right now. Don't want to waste more time on this, so is it sorry. Sorry guys. Here we got the enemy radar, and we pass in the enemy radar. Well, we can't pass it in because I have to change the type. Wait a second. Private game object. Well, maybe it would work simply like that. And then well, get component, and then game object. Is it that? Let's find out. But if I do it like that, then I have to get down here and say enemy radar dot get component dot. Oh well, this is getting out of hand. Alright guys, excuse me for a second, I'm back in a minute. Hang on. So, there we are. Well, let me reverse that. Spawn point. Transform spawn point. Okay, it's a transform. Let's treat it like a transform. Let me see if it would work like that. Enemy radar dot. We got the transform. Get component. dot enemy radar dot enemy contact. Uh-huh. Okay, let's just test this. Oh, I'm so sick of that. Really, this is getting me. This is annoying me. Okay, I do it the old-fashioned way. Game object. I grab the reference as a game object. Let's see if this works. Oh, well, it will not. So let me see. There we go. Enemy radar. I still get this reference exception. Man, I'm getting crazy. Game object that gets component. This should work now. Oh, what the heck? Wow. Okay, let me try this. And then I can't pass it over there. Man, I'm getting crazy here. Okay, guys. I'm super stupid. Enemy radar. Man, how can you be dumb like that? Oh my gosh, I didn't attach the script. What the heck? Okay, now we got the script attached. Let me see. Then here. Attach the enemy radar. There we go. Oh my goodness. There we go. No more errors. Oh, how can you be stupid like that? And now, did we get any? Well, seems like the enemy radar thing is not working yet. least I got the reference. Debug.log. I at least want to see the value of the enemy contact. To make sure if everything's working fine. Enemy contact is false, but I'm getting the reference. It's false, it's false, false, false. Okay, we got no enemy contact here. Which is no wonder, because the circle collider was disabled. Now we get it true. Okay. Well, a few mistakes. First one, enable the collider. Second one, attach the script. Oh, I'm doing this for over a year now, and I should know this, but sometimes you're kind of blind. Or it's too early in the morning and you have not enough coffee. I don't know. Alright, so we got this, but what I want to try now I want to try this. I want to see if it can hold the reference, if I can get the reference like that, because I want to have this clean, nice and clean. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it's getting the reference, and that's fine. This is how it was intended. Then I can remove the serialized fields. Can remove that one, and now I got it clean like I wanted to have it. Alright, guys, my alarm clock is ringing, which means I have to go now for my main job. So, we will continue tomorrow or on Monday. We will see. And we will extend the virus attack. So we're getting the values of the enemy contact. We got all this, and then we can move on here and script the logic of the virus attack. So I say thank you very much for watching. I wish you a nice day. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I see you the next time.